The battle against COVID-19 has taken a different dimension in Cameroon, with Minister Paul Atanganji taking a center stage in the fight against this deadly virus. Minister Paul Atanganji, Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, recently sent out a communique threatening to close down churches that do not respect government's barrier measures in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Personally, I support Minister Paul Atanganji's decision in this regard to close down institutions that do not respect the barrier measures instituted by Cameroon's government to fight against COVID-19. COVID-19 is real, COVID-19 kills, COVID-19 is destroying the economy around the globe. But I have one worry. My major concern is that why do we have churches to respect these barrier measures, and yet we don't have the bars, the nightclubs, the buses, the market to respect these measures? Is it not time for us to institute similar threats or measures against nightclubs, bars, churches, markets at the same time? The bars are still on, the nightclubs are still on with people dancing Kolela Petit left and right without face masks. Talk less of the fact of physical distancing is not even respected. We see how crowded these bars are, and yet we are fighting against COVID-19 only in churches. Another scenario is the market. When you move down to our various markets, you see how crowded the markets are. Yet the markets are not respecting COVID-19 barrier measures. Should we not punish the mayors for not instituting those aspect that the market can respect barrier measures? It is a question that hangs in the balance. Plus, on today's edition, we are witnessing Cameroon's Minister of Secondary Education, Dr. Nalova Lyonga, fighting hard to institute morals in our educational system following the recent release sex tapes of schools or children within Cameroon. Minister Paul Atanganji and Minister Nalova Lyonga are two ministers that have been fighting hard to ensure the territorial integrity of Cameroon is protected in their different perspectives. Minister Nalova Lyonga, on her part, instituted that those 14 students who were dismissed should be called back for schools as centers of morality. Her decision is causing mixed emotions with people. Some believe that these students should be dismissed. Others are saying that yet we should give a helping hand to these students and they should be reinstated back to school. Plus, we equally have the killings in killings in Fue Bakundu, to be more precise, that happened on the 18th of March 2021. Revelation shows that those people who were killed were not just 3, that is General Spirito, along 2 other fighters, but yet other civilians were killed. What lies the fate of Cameroon in all these 3 angles that we shall be discussing on today's edition of our program. Today is Palm Sunday. As you go on with our celebration of Palm Sunday of the Passion of Christ, I want us to reflect on Romans 13:1-5, as we all say. Good afternoon and welcome. This is House of Commons with me, Tah Mai Javis. It is a Palm Sunday. Happy Palm Sunday to all those of you watching us from different areas of the country and of course around the globe. Today's edition, we are looking at 3 topics, and we will be looking at the first, fighting COVID-19. Bars, nightclubs remains open, and bus stations are still very much crowded, with Minister of Transport Jean Ernest Bibingale stating that they should respect barrier measures, but these buses don't even respect barrier measures. Here in the studio to discuss on key issues, we have Professor Prof Mac, who is a Pan-Africanist and has been here with us as far as the program is concerned and is a regular for the program. Professor Prof, welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Javis, for this opportunity to be here again this Sunday, and to the million viewers of House of Commons, we say good morning and happy Sunday to you, and to my fellow panelists, I say you're welcome and good morning. I believe that we are here just to do service and justice to this particular topic. As we'll be discussing, certainly we'll be educating as many as will be following us. That should be our focus. We are discussing here our personal opinions, not what we think that is official.
Thank you very much. Yeah, equally we have Madam ENDALE Serah, who is joining us for her very first time. Madam, we hope to have you on other edition. Thanks for joining us, and a happy Palm Sunday to you.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Javis. Thank you very much. This is my first time of being here. I want to say happy Palm Sunday to all of you. I'm really glad to be here to give out my own views. I'm not against, just the way you think. Yes, my own view of the program. Yes, to see that in Cameroon, people can do things that are not just.
Okay. We'll be coming to you. Equally, we want to welcome Mr. Sah Thomas, who is joining us for the very first time here in the studio for House of Commons. Mr. Sah Thomas, thanks for joining us.
Thanks to join to you people. I'm very happy to come to here because we had to say that I'm very happy to the Palm Sunday, and it's my first time to come here. Just glad I will meet people again.
Thank you very much. These are the gentlemen and lady with whom we are going to continue our discussion on today's edition for House of Commons. And this is House of Commons. Earlier, we promised you that we'll look at corporal punishment, and that will come to part 2 of the program. And part of the program, we shall look at that. I'll begin with you, Madam ENDALE. First, let's look at the first topic, fighting COVID-19. Minister Paul Atanganji, Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, issued a communique stating that churches that do not respect barrier measures will be closed down because the virus is real. But we still have nightclubs and bars still operational. Isn't it time for us to apply that same measures to bars and nightclubs?
Oh, Mr. Javis, in my own view, according to COVID-19, which is a very bad sickness that has met us in Cameroon, for me, churches are supposed to be closed because I support his idea of closing the churches, because in church, most of us, if we go to church, like in our own church, we drink from the same bucket. We use the same cups. The cups have not changed. We drink from the same bucket, we use the same cups. So that's the reason why, for me, churches should be closed. And not everybody in church is putting up a mask. And nobody is there to take care of those who are going to put on mask or not. Everybody in church is feeling free to move the way they want. And let me say, in church, taking of communion. If we are taking communion, it's the same hands that we use. We don't wash even our hands before taking the communion. When they say time for communion, everybody is moving online. When you are seated in church, we move online to go and take the communion without washing our hands before we take the communion. And it's the same person, the father or a pastor, who will be putting on the communion in your hands, and you're taking it. You don't know how you are coming with the dirtiness in your hands and some other things. For me, for the bars not to be closed, I believe that it is fine for the bars not to be closed, because I have an opinion that I have an idea that alcohol fights against COVID-19, because alcohol is essential. Because I grew up in a town that is we use at times when you have even stomach ache, we take ofofo. I don't know, I grew up in Ndemba, and we are used to ofofo. At times when you are sick at times, and they say, okay, it's malaria, if they want to treat you traditionally, they will take herbs and put in that ofofo. That's what you drink and you'll be treated. So I believe that alcohol is against COVID-19.
Okay. Thank you very much. Professor Mac, you've listened to Madam ENDALE. I want to get your own view too on this. Isn't it time for us to apply similar measures to the church, that we want to apply to the church to bar? The Madam ENDALE is of the opinion that, no, sometimes alcohol helps to reduce the spread of this virus. It's her opinion.
Anyway, that's her opinion, as she rightly said, it's her opinion. I will be categorical in this. I am not of the school of thought that says that COVID-19 is not real. It is real. But there is something that we have to understand. It is something that I do not know how to actually intervene in when I see the ministers communicate actually targeting churches. And if you see the language written in it, it seems as if he's speaking out of a lot of disgust for the church. But that is the same person whom I heard him in Kumba quoting scriptures from
Romans
the Bible.
31:5.
Good. Which implies that he has a sense of the fact that God is supreme over all. What I looked up into that particular communique and saw is the fact that he threatens to close down churches
That do not respect barrier measures.
that do not respect barrier measures. It will be very, very funny to have any church leader allow people to access the church without actually respecting distance. And secondly, he said people are speaking, some pastors are even speaking against and declaring that it does not exist. It might be their opinion, but when it comes to state issues, I don't think their pulpit should be used in talking COVID-19. They should preach Christ whom they are supposed to preach, not COVID-19. COVID-19 is not a message. If you are on the pulpit, I don't see a reason why you should tell the people not to put masks, but I don't think there is any pastor responsible or priest responsible enough, because he was precise. He did not talk about priests. He spoke about the churches that so-called Église Réveil, that's how he called them, Pentecostals to be precise. And he said most of them who are saying it do not even have authorizations to exist. That statement is an overstatement. But that is not my focus. My focus is, why should you tag a particular group of persons? Then you conclude that if they do not respect, they should be closed down and they should be haunted and brought to justice. Question: when we go to the bars, nightclubs, which distance do they obey? How many people do you see in nightclubs and bars with face masks that are drinking? When you enter nightclubs, you see all kinds of disorder inside.
People are pulling la petite,
Yes.
zanga la petite. There's no physical distance.
No physical distance. I might not have gone inside to see, to come and say, but I know that in nightclubs it is a place for dancing, and as long as people are dancing, you cannot stop the crowds from coming in. And I think most at times these people are interested in their money rather than struggling to protect your life, and that is the issue. My idea, the idea behind focusing on churches, I don't know why the minister focused on churches, but I think that if there is somebody who defies the rules that the government gave, that person is supposed to be called to book, whether it is of the church or of the secular world. Whether it's any leader, whether a leader or, let me say, business person, wheresoever you are, in whatsoever milieu you find yourself, if you disrespect the measures, you should be brought to book. Not only pastors, because his focus on pastors calls for attention, and such is one of the reasons why some individuals can rise up. You see, I want to say something. The reason why the church and men of God are respected in Nigeria more is because of the act of one minister, one man of God, who out of this kind of issues had to react based on declarations of some ministers of his state.
Benson
Edauza. And when you hear a minister comes out and speak and write a communique like that, and ministers of the gospel do not have the capacity to respond, it makes me feel like the so-called Pentecostals do not have a place.
It's not because they are guilty.
Why?
It could be also because they are guilty. I think that is also a reason.
Because
But what about those who are not guilty? Can't they speak? When the minister is categorical with his statements, why didn't he focus also on nightclubs? Why didn't he focus also on bars?
The market.
The markets.
Should we not punish the mayors for not taking care of
It
the
is
markets?
something that is so terrible that you focus on a particular group of persons and you neglect a majority of them. Most people can be affected in the market more than even in any gathering.
Okay.
Most people can be affected more in nightclubs for those who go to nightclubs. So I think when the minister wants to talk, he should not pinpoint some group of persons. His communication should go out. If you defy these measures, you will be brought to book.
It should be equal. It should
Equal.
be at the same level.
It is like it's a discriminatory issue. You don't focus and
Okay.
try to bring down a group of persons when others are enjoying the freedom of it.
Okay.
So if I feel like, okay, might be you are trying to say pastors should now go and open nightclubs. Might be that's what he's trying to say. You should close down churches and open
Sir
nightclubs.
Thomas, maybe
Because that's what I heard my sister just say, that it is better for nightclubs to be open so that people can be cured with,
No, she was
with
saying
alcohol.
that
I was saying alcohol.
So churches who do not drink alcohol are places that should be closed, and places
Okay.
where they drink alcohol should be
I will
open.
ask her my
That's
question and
serious.
follow up as to what she Sir Thomas, Minister Paul Atanganji says those churches should respect barrier measures. If they don't respect barrier measures, they will be closed down. But yet we have the nightclubs are open, the bars are open, the markets are crowded. Is it not time for us to take that same measures to the bars, nightclubs?
No, I do not believe in that. I do not believe in COVID-19. I want to say something to people. I believe that is a disease, is a virus, because what Paul Atanga is talking rubbish.
Why you? That's a minister, eh?
No. I do not believe that is a minister is supposed to do the right thing. To close churches is not the problem.
No, he's not saying he's closed down. He's closing down these churches. What the minister is saying is that these churches should respect these barrier measures. If they don't respect the measures of physical distancing,
Okay.
wearing of face masks, they will be closed down because COVID-19 kills and it's real.
It's true. I'm just okay. What you are trying
Well,
to
my question to you is it not the minister? Should the minister not extend it to other areas like the bars, the nightclubs, the markets?
No, he need to extend to there. He need to extend there because the nightclubs that they need to follow. Because I discovered that the nightclubs that are not wearing their face masks, they need to punish the nightclub, not punish the I can say the churches, because some churches they cannot wear it because some people are refusing to, because they put that face mask is affecting them and it's very disturbing them, because when you look at the church as Paul is called
Paul Atanganji.
Paul Atanganji is saying it. Yeah, when you look at this, what he's saying, I'm saying he say a right thing, but saying at the wrong time. That's my problem.
Okay.
Yes.
So to you, he should have extended it to all the sectors.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Mama Ndale, Serah, you said a while ago that we should respect the measures to close down churches if they don't respect barrier measures. But the churches, they deal with divine hands. God heals. Is it not, instead, should we not be running to the church for healings? Because if there's a virus, the church should be a refuge for healing. But the bars, unlike what
Yes, Mr. Javis. I said that. I have not said that the churches do not have divine protect on their members. That's not what I have said. What I said is that the churches, the problem of COVID-19, because it is contagious. COVID-19 is a contagious illness. That's what I am trying to explain. That being in the church, we don't have different buckets of drinking water. We don't have different buckets of, different cups that we use in church. If Mr. Atanganji said, Minister Atanganji, if he said they should be brought to books, or they should be punished if they don't respect. He is not saying he's punishing or he's closing down churches. No, that's not what he has said. He said if they do not respect barrier measures, they will be closed down. That's a warning. So that you people who are going to churches or you people who are going to church, the pastors, the catechists, the popes, and everybody that, let me say, that has an issue with churches or anything, when they are in church, they are the one organizing the members of the church. They are the one doing all the work.
And he also said in that communique, Mr. Paul Atanganji also pointed out that some of these churches are preaching against COVID-19, are preaching against COVID-19, and are telling their members not to wear face masks.
Yes, those are the things. That's what he meant.
And we have seen that
if they don't respect barrier measures, that's telling them, even if you are refusing that there is no COVID-19. For me, I know it's real. I know it's real. And for me, I know that there are treatment. Very simple treatment, 150 francs, garlic and onion and so forth and so on. Even if you put the onion, you spread the onion in the house, it treats COVID-19. Yes, I'm telling you, that's the truth. I'm an African, and I cannot pretend.
We must go to the African solution.
Yes, we go to the African solution, because if you want to base on buying drugs from pharmacies, you spend more. So for me, garlic, onion, ginger, 150 francs can treat you from COVID-19. Wow. 150 francs. Onion 50, garlic 15, ginger 50. And if you greater it naturally just as we greater cocoyams. Naturally, we don't use molinese. We don't use it. If you use molinese, we invite alcohol. You greater it naturally, and after you greater it, you squeeze it. You don't put a lot of water, just small water to rinse out the complement from the juice and from the chaff, so that it will be liquid. Then if you want to drink it, and let me say you want to have a good taste, you can add a little bit of lemon
or
honey. That's treat. I read it in the Bible, in the Numbers. I've forgotten the quotation. It was crafted by the Israelites to heal all diseases. Very essential for human body.
Okay.
Very essential. That's why I say that if Mr. Atanganji says that, Mr. Atanganji has not said churches should be closed down.
We should take note.
Yes, and we as Cameroonians, we should learn to protect our country. That's our main problem, because we are just doing things the way we like. You talk to the minister or any other person the way you like. There are some certain aspects of that in Cameroon that is too bad.
Okay.
Everybody wants to become the president. Everybody wants to become the minister. Everybody, all Cameroonians. Yes. So what I want is that we should learn to protect our country. That's what we should learn to protect. That is, if you see somebody doing a bad thing, you go in and make the person know that what you are doing is not correct. Don't come and tell the person, yes, do it, it's good. Yes, do it, I'll join you, I'll support you, I'll do this, No. Other countries are profiting a lot more than us.
Thank you. We're coming back to you.
Yeah.
Hi, and happy Palm Sunday to all of you in the studio. Seriously, Cameroon government officials operate only on the lines they have been instructed by the head of state, and they can't go beyond or get fire. Lastly, the law in Cameroon arrests only who fingers are pointed to. So, since there's little tax please, when you're writing us, be specific. Since little tax is made from churches, they become useless to them, and accusing fingers appointed to them. The day we shall make our law enforcement to be independent and non respecter of anyone, the day we shall have one Cameroon, by Julius in Dubai. This other one reads, good afternoon to you guys in the studio. I am Louis from Yaoundé. The so-called minister have no right to propose the idea of closing down churches. Madame ENDALE should also clear off the philosophy of her mind that of alcohol. This other read, it says, Cameroon has always been a country of heated solution. We never do things in the right way. I expected the minister and the government to have brought up proper measures to prevent the spread of the virus, but as usual they target what they believe does not bring money to their pocket. Why should he only point fingers at the church? He should look for measures at other public gatherings. Happy Palm Sunday Pan-Afrique. This other one, it reads, it says, my mother, that is not a good answer. Please, please read Psalms 91:5, which means God's authority. God has authority. That's coming from Blessed in Bamenda. Blessed in Bamenda. This other one, it says, happy Sunday to you all. Special greetings to Prof Mac. I love the way he puts things. Pillow from Cape Town, Kumba. Professor Mac, coming back to Mr. Paul Atanganji's decision, I think that some of these churches go as far as telling their militants that God has healed COVID-19, that they should not wear their face masks, and that's why Mr. Paul Atanganji is hitting hard. That it is good because it is good for churches to institute these measures, or they be closed down. Like you see in the Catholic Church, they are putting measures. You go, seats have been allocated, and you see, don't sit here, don't sit here. But we don't see that in other churches. Probably why he singled out some of those churches that he's talking about.
The question is, did he go there to see it?
He is talking from facts. Remember, this is Cameroon's territorial administration minister who has every fact on the table.
We do not refuse what he's saying. And let me be sincere. If I am in the place of the minister, I am going to sanction every person who does not respect the rules. Because those are rules that have been kept to protect Cameroonians. But not that I target a particular group of people. Somebody just said through his comments there that when you look at it, it is like a soft target. Where individuals who are actually not, because the church as a whole is not actually contributing economically to the state of Cameroon. They do not pay taxes. But I'm sure they pay taxes for their building that they are using. So at least that's a tax. And because to them, the church does not contribute a lot to the economy, it should become the target. No, it should not be the target. If it happens that they caught some persons preaching and telling the church not to respect the measures and saying that God can heal, let me be sincere, God heals. Let us not play around it. God is a healer. If he is the creator of humanity, then he knows man more than any doctor. So such a situation we should not refuse that it cannot happen. But it should not be like, as a pastor, I should tell the members of my church not to put on face mask, not to respect social distancing. No, that's not a message. That's why I said earlier that it is not a message that should be preached in church. I do not have the time to come and stand on the pulpit and I focus on something that is, to me, practically is a pandemic. It is called pandemic, but it's a pandemic. It's something that has been created. And it is being used to, in fact, it has been politicized. So that is not what I should stand as a preacher and come and say on the pulpit. No. And I don't expect any pastor of a reasonable mind to use that as a message. When you do that, you are off. If you are caught saying that, you should be punished. But not to use it as a general scenario.
So your problem is that it is biased to target just one set of people.
It is very biased.
It is right to punish all individuals who disrespect government measures.
It is very, very right to punish if somebody disrespects. There was a time where they said if you are caught without face mask, you pay 6,000 francs. I was on this platform and I said I support the idea. If you do not have the face mask, pay. I saw the governor of Southwest came down to my 17, told drivers, add the thing in your transport. If somebody comes without a face mask, give the person a face mask, add it in the transport. That is a measure to solve the problem.
And the governor, just to tell you that the The governor said they should not carry more than the available capacity. That's 2 in front. They should carry 1 in front. But as I speak to you now, go to Boya, that measure has not been enforced because we have 2 in front, 3 behind. Same as, but the governor stated that it should be 1 in front.
Yes, we are not refusing. You see, I want us to speak factually and let us be reasonable. It is not all about giving measures. When you give measures, let there be accompanying measures also to accompany what you have said. For example, if you say people should not carry overload, or maybe they should not take beyond 1 person in front, how are you subsidizing that driver from not carrying the extra load? If you say a bus which was supposed to carry 70 persons should carry 30, how do you help the company to keep existing? Because when you refuse them from carrying, they will put it on passengers. And when I come, you tell me that I need to go to Yaoundé. I used to pay 5,000 per seat. I need to now pay 7,500. I will not accept. And when you do not accept, it is but normal that the man will be losing in his business. And if he's losing his business, what is the state doing to make sure that his business continues? Okay, you want me not to go out and walk on the streets. I need to stay in the house in order to protect myself. It's a very nice thing. Or the state is fighting for the good of its citizens. But if I stay in the house and I cannot go out to do business, what will I eat? There is no finance that the government gives the people. If the Cameroon government has given money to individuals, then it will be nice to protect them from going out. It will be very good. So when you ask me, I will be sincere in telling you that the statements of the minister are biased. He is not targeting every individual.
So you believe it's politically motivated?
It is. I said earlier, it is the sickness itself is political. So at this particular moment, if you want to target a people, protect everybody. Don't point fingers on a particular group of people. When you mentioned nightclubs, I don't know if you go to the nightclubs. You surely go to the nightclubs.
I'm young, of course. I do go to the nightclub.
Good. Do you see people there packed, filled, or are they having distance? Do they respect distance?
Earlier I said there's nothing as physical
so
distance.
With that already, we have a proof on the ground coming from the journalists that when you go to a nightclub, there is no distancing. So why should the minister not target the nightclub?
Thank you. I'll be coming back to you.
And with a very hot temperature, as Madam is saying, very hot temperature. So we need to be able to make sure that we target everybody.
I'll be coming back to you. Let's get to Sah Thomas so that we round up this session and move to the next part of the debate. How do you go to the nightclub to collect the appetit, then you go and separate now? Let me come to you, Sah Thomas.
Yeah.
Briefly, what should be the way forward in terms of fighting COVID-19 in Cameroon? What should we do?
The way forward for me, I believe that the way forward is people to try to put up their mask, to wear their mask. That's the way forward, because people continue, they're not wearing their mask. The COVID-19 will be more outside there. Because look, this man said something that was I'm looking at a type of way that, because look at the pastors, because now like that, they're not teaching the word of God of people. Now they're talking about COVID. Everywhere is COVID. For me, I believe that the COVID-19 is not I'm not refusing the COVID is not there. The COVID is there. But people to take the measures to put the COVID, to make it in the right way. That is my main problem. Because when the minister are saying something, because what I'm seeing, this minister that are doing, they say different things, they do different things. They say different things and do something. That's what is disturbing me.
Okay, so what is... What is that? Is that they say something else?
Yes,
they practice something else.
Yes, that is my main problem. Yes.
In Bamenda, you are from Bamenda. How do the measures you put in place in Bamenda, they be respected?
That one is just a child's play. I'm saying they are not doing anything there. They are not doing it. It's very difficult to see how many people you can see more than let's say 50 people inside 50. many of them are not wearing it because they said they are not foreseeing any use of it, because when they wear that mask, it gives them, they say they cannot breathe well. They cannot have oxygen well.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good afternoon to you all in the studio. I am Madam Gala. Madam Gala, writing from Douala. The minister is right. Many of these pastors say those who wear masks are children of Satan. But we pray that let the minister extend it to other places. Let us not be so negative all the time. I'm sure that's what Madam Ndada is saying, that we should not be negative all the time. This one really says, we really need to reprogram Cameroon. What has the government done to help citizens first against COVID-19? This is coming from Kumba. It's a message from Pilo and Kuma. I think we'll move now to our next topic of discussion, which we are looking at briefly. You want to conclude on this?
Yes, I have to conclude on it.
Yes.
Because for me, I think this is an opportunity for the churches to ask from the government a helping hands on, let me say, they should ask for, at least they should give them finances for water, so that they should have water in the bottle, like Supermon. As if you need water, they just give you a bottle. If you need water, they just give you a bottle. Or they should ask from the government their protective mask. They should ask it from the government. I think that's the duty of the government, to give, to issue, yes, to give it as an offer.
What did they do with the office?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That the government cannot handle all the situation at once if you don't tell them. There are many things. Mr. Atanganji cannot be in Yaoundé, and he is the same time in Boroki, in our village, there in Kondotiti. He cannot be in Boroki. That's one of our village. Me, I grew up in Ndemba. I grew up in the Southwest. I was born there. So I want to tell you things that I think there are certain things. And now that you see COVID-19 is everywhere, there are children moving all around the places, which they have to be protected more than even us, because they know nothing. They have to be taught about the COVID-19, how it's being handled and how it's being done, so that those who has not to have, because people, not only churches, not only nightclubs, what about schools?
Yeah,
what about schools?
Schools and markets.
Schools and markets. I'm talking because that is the where you have to cry now to the government.
Thank
Papa
you.
Atanganji,
Thank you.
give us mask.
Thank you.
Give us
this
assistance.
message reads,
So-
why is it that it is Minat that is talking about health issues instead of Minsante? Okay, we'll move now to the second topic that we're looking at, corporal punishment and the recently released sex tape, which has been moving around in Cameroon as far as the educational sector is concerned. Our minister reinstate dismissed a student after sex video. I'll start with you, Professor Mac, this time around, so that we'll move to a diverse angle. Is it not time for us to institute corporal punishment if we must not dismiss kids as per se, but because they are minors, they will say yes, they are minors, especially the kids these days. But is it not time to institute corporal punishment?
You see, we have a problem in Africa, and precisely in Cameroon, that we just take things, we just copy things and implement in our nation without actually getting to vet them. Why did I say so? The fact that UNICEF presents the European perspective of schooling and says that corporal punishment is against human rights because they do not practice it over there, we should also just implement it in Africa. No. In Africa, we believe that when we use a cane on a child, we drive out foolishness from that child. And it is a biblical statement I just used. But that is the African way of looking at things. With a cane, you bring out foolishness from a child. When you do not use a cane on a child, you do not love that child in real sense. Because you can't allow a child to live and do things the way he or she wants to do them while you look at him do it. We might say there are other ways to punish. Question: do you know that when you tell a child to pick a pin, it's corporal punishment?
Yeah.
You whip a child, it's corporal punishment. So how do they want you to punish your children?
They say they don't want you to whip. They don't want you to ask them to do manual labor. They don't want the one that you should ask them to kneel down. They don't want you to have them to raise their hands up as punishment.
You just have to talk to them.
Talk to them.
Seriously.
That Junior, please come sit down. Junior, what you did is wrong.
That is the European system, which is reason why today you can hear Europeans who tell you, I am bisexual. We will tell you, I am. A man will tell you that he's married to a fellow man. A woman married to a fellow woman. Homosexuality and lesbianism has become part and parcel of their culture. And you claim that there's transgender. A woman will transform himself to a man. A man transform himself to a woman. Is that what you call culture that we should implement in Africa? And so when you allow children to grow up like that, then we just come and say, okay, let's bring it to Africa, and then we implement it. We say our children should not be beaten. No. That is the reason why you will see children whom, because they can't beat them anymore. In my days when I was going to school, in primary school, even in secondary school, you were beaten. Somebody will ask me our days, back in the 80s and the 70s, in the 90s, canes were normal in school. UNICEF should not come to Africa and deceive Africans. We have to incorporate corporal punishment in order to keep our children in order. Back at home and in schools, it should be done. When you look at it, okay, today, children who have gone breaking every law that the Cameroon Penal Code has instituted itself, being dismissed from school as a means to punish them, then a minister comes back and say, no, we need to reincorporate them into school because schools are supposed to be what? It's called them what?
Center of morality.
Centers of morality. How can we institute morality in schools when we have, first of all, stopped moral education in schools? Secondly, we do not institute corporal punishment in school in order to keep the children at bay. How can the schools become center of morality when we see children acting pornography in school? Who should take care of those children? When even the schools we are talking about, for example, you have a school like Lycée de Kribi, which has close to 5,000 children. Question, how many discipline masters do you have in that school? Are they up to 20? Are they up to 500? Because at least 500 should take care. 500 discipline masters should be instituted in that school to take care of that 5,000 students. If you have 10, can 10 take care of the entire campus? No, it's not possible. 10 cannot take care of the entire campus. It is not possible. And so, if you have 10, these 10, because of lack of teachers in schools, these 10 are still found in classes teaching. How will they be able to protect those children and discipline those children, bring them to order? How many guardian counselors do we have in that school? Because they are the ones who are supposed to be talking morals to those children. If they say schools are supposed to be centers of morality.
Okay.
So if they cannot actually employ many other staff to take care of the students, then we should bring in corporal punishment in order to make sure that if a child does something wrong, they should be punished.
Okay.
When they are punished, like these ones have been dismissed because they don't know how to beat them, then a minister comes and says you need to reinstitute them back because schools are supposed to be centers of morality and they should look for another way to discipline them.
Okay.
There is something wrong.
Okay.
Madam Minister, we need to go back and think on that step. Are we struggling to destroy our institutions because those children are going to come, they will underlook the principal, the discipline master, and all those who were involved. They will disrespect the entire institution of Cameroon.
Are we coming back?
That is terrible and wrong.
Madam Ndele, isn't it time to institute corporal punishment, that kneeling down, picking a pin as you always do, raising your hands up when you are late, going out of the class, giving the child to pick papers around, or giving the child a potion to clear when the child is stubborn, or digging of storms as we used to do? And isn't it time to institute corporal punishment in our schools?
Nowadays, it is not done like that. But in those days, in our own time, we had our discipline master who was called Rambo. I mean, JHS Ndemba. We call it was Mr. Nobet Bile. We gave him a name, Rambo. We don't have a fence in the school. JHS Ndemba did not have a fence. But you cannot dodge out of that school. Where will you pass? And what is wrong nowadays is that they don't implement the system of, let me say, each class should have a head girl, somebody who controls the class. That is one of the reasons that things may happen like that. Because where was it done? In school. If it was out of the school, I would have said that the principals or the discipline masters did not take care of the children. Because when children leave their house and they are in school, they are under the security of the school. If Madame Nolinga said that they should go back to school, she's wrong, because there she is minimizing not only the principal but also the GO who was involved. I think in administrative rules we cannot act like that. Not everybody who is made a minister can stand firm on his or her words. Not everybody. There are some certain things that you allow to happen because administrators have taken orders already. There you can stay and say, okay, since it is like that. But now doing that because you are a minister, it therefore means the principal does not even know he's not supposed to be the principal of that school, or the DO was not even supposed to be there to know about. They are already children of they are already children of a terminal. They are children of terminal, they are already grown up. They are grown up children. In the sense that they will have stayed at home. No, they will have stayed at home and come back to school for their exams. That's all. I don't see any reason why they should not be dismissed. What they did was wrong. And why they were wrong is because I know that in our school we had a head teacher, a student that would control the class. In the absence of the discipline master or any other tutor, there should be a head girl or a head boy who controls the class. If you make noise, they write your name. If they start doing things like that, then the head boy will have reported to the hierarchies of the school. But now, it happened in the school. Meaning even, maybe that's why Madame Nolinga decided that, okay, if it happened, Nalova, maybe that's why she decided that, okay, if it is like that, they should go back to school. Since it happened inside the school, meaning there are no securities in school.
Okay, yes, because the question was,
yes,
how come with those? They said it was during the school hours. There was no teacher. It means that the teachers were not vigilant.
That is it. So that's the reason of Madame Nalova to take a decision like that.
Because the minister also said, I think that some of these teachers are complacent at dating these students and all the.
Those things, yes. That's why I am saying that because they put a head girl in the school, if there was a head girl in that class, nothing will have happened. That's why, maybe that's why Madame Nalova saw that, no, if it is like this in school, no, they should go back to school. It therefore means the teachers or the principals are not taking care of their duties. Okay. That's the reason. Okay, so for me. Okay,
on this, I think you will have a last take on this, so I'll move to the last topic of the day. That is the killing in North and Southwest region. Let's have a last take on this. This issue of school indecency is occurring almost everywhere. What should we do to institute disciplines in our schools these days? Should we not bring back corporal punishment?
We need to bring back corporal punishment. But I want to also say that in our own days, in our own school, because I went to Kotek, and in Kotek we were having serious digging of storm. I dig storm very seriously until my finger was PE on that day. And I want to just to say that what they do, that the girls, they were supposed to bring them back to school, to go back to school. Because what they were saying, because the principal was supposed to take the right decision, it's not the minister who was supposed to do that. For me, that's what I believe.
So to you feel like the minister was not supposed to reshape the decision taken by the school?
Yes. The principal was supposed to take the decision.
But we have seen parents who says that their children should not do corporal punishment, their children should not be allowed to work, their children should not be allowed to do other things.
That type of parent is a bad parent. It's a very bad parent, because look at the bad parents. Because when you are a very good parent, leave the principal to do his job, because the principal he knows how the children they behave in school. You, the parents, you don't know what is happening in the the children that are inside the school, you don't know what is happening there. That is what I can say.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's now look at the issue of the killings. I think I'll begin with you, Madam ENDALE, Anglophone crisis. We are moving now to Anglophone crisis and Mbonge killings, and how they look at how true are the facts on Mbonge killings. Basically, we've seen a lot of killings in North and Southwest region. You are from Ndemba. I'm sure it's
I'm by tribe. I am I'm from Douala, from Akwa, yes.
Yes,
but I grew up in Ndemba, yes,
and
that's my village.
Affected area as far as the Anglophone crisis is concerned.
Ndemba actually is not the most affected area, as I can say, because in Ndemba, I think the fathers of Ndemba stood up and said, no, it will not happen here. You strangers, go to where you belong. You cannot come and create war here. That's what happened in Ndemba. Ndemba is a no-go zone for the terrorists for now. Ndemba. If I'm talking about Ndemba, I should tell you that Ndemba is a no-go zone for the terrorists because.
But when you say terrorists, I want to understand this context. Who are the terrorists and what do they do, as far as the conflict is concerned? Because we've been told that there's non-state armed groups, there are state armed groups, and so within this context, I want to understand.
When I talk about terrorists, because I am a worker of lobby, palm plantations. I'm a secretary in the lobby, and during those times that started, the war started. Let me say war, because these boys are not, they are not boys living with us in lobby. They came and attacked the military. That was something I never knew could have happened in Cameroon, because I grew up in a way that we were protecting our country. Then if things like that started happening in Cameroon, I would say that no, it therefore means we are not protecting our country. When I saw the terrorists attacking the military, we were there, we were in the middle of the scene. In the middle of the scene. These people were shooting, these people were shooting. Then I looked at it and I said, no, it should not happen again like this. During this time of this thing, they are terrorists because they are not involved in any aspect. Let me say, they are not involved in any denomination or in the government, or they are not involved.
If I get it clearly, you continue. If I get it clearly, you're saying that those who pick up arms against the state currently fighting now are terrorists.
Yes, they are terrorists.
Okay.
I'll call them terrorists because they don't belong to any part that I will say they are Cameroonians. They are Cameroonians, yes, but I said they are terrorists because when I saw people,
cannot destroy your country.
They cannot be destroying our country, what we have labored for so long since I was born in Ndemba and come back to Ekondo Titi where I'm living, which even up till now my things are still there. I've not collected my things.
So you are an IDP now in Douala?
Yes, Douala is my village. I came back because of the war. Yes. So I am an IDP, let me say yes, because it was not time for me to come back to the village. I would have had my home in the village before coming. But now, go back to the family house, and you say that, no, I cannot be again in the family house. You go and rent a house, and so forth and so on. Those are the things. So me, I'm not in support of that. I'm not, because I know the president himself is a just man. He has never taken any letter that has been written to him for granted.
Okay.
Yes.
When we look at the killings, which on the 18th of March, the military, through the governor, the senior divisional officer of Mehmet Tamnjong listed that they killed three separatist fighters,
Mr. Javis.
Let me come, including General Spirito, who was killed. Now, during the weekend, the so-called General Spirito, including in the weekends, we were told that there were more than 3 persons that were killed. We saw pictures of people were rallied and killed at mass. How true should we believe? Because
let me tell you something. This is what happens. Let me tell you how it happens before somebody can be killed mistakenly or you can be killed. Let me tell you what happened. During this time, when the military get an information that there is a terrorist around this place, you understand? When they come to remove out the terrorists, other people can be affected. other people can be affected mistakenly. Because when they are coming, they are terrorists, they have guns. And they can be, the military can be killed also. To protect themselves, what do they do? To protect themselves, what do they do? They are coming where they say they are terrorists. And how do they? Now that people are reporting them, they have given a time for them to come back. That they are sent to the DDR center. Some people say if you go to the DDR center, they will kill you. No. Nobody kills anybody. And because going there means that you don't want to do what you are doing anymore. And why is there a DDR center? That's what we should ask ourselves first. Why is there a DDR center? It is because the government recognizes you or somebody who they call a terrorist, that you are a Cameroonian. They know that it's not a Nigerian fighting here. It started with Nigerians, but now it's us who are fighting against us.
So it's Cameroonians killing Cameroonians.
Killing Cameroonians. That's why the president said, no, let us make something that will, because Papa, I'm telling you that, Javis, what are we fighting for? Let me ask you, what are we fighting for in Cameroon? Knowing very well, if me, I want to say, well, let us fight, okay, I will start first with the International Court of Justice. Because there, the International Court of Justice gave Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon. Where were the Ambazonians there? Why did they not get up there? Where were they? Where were they?
But how do you define them as terrorists? I want to understand the definition, because you are giving a quite a good contribution there. Someone who is watching should understand, how do you define them as terrorists? Because there's some school of thought that says that these...
We define them as terrorists because you, as a civilian, you cannot carry a gun here in Cameroon. It's not authorized. So if you carry a gun, you become a terrorist. If you carry a gun here in Cameroon, civilians are not... civilians don't have the right to carry up a gun. So if you carry a gun against the government, you become a terrorist. You terrorize the place, because if anybody sees you with a gun, everybody will start running. Everybody will be afraid of you. I mean, even your own brothers. Okay. Just because you carry a gun, then you are a terrorist.
Okay, I'll be coming back to you. Before I want Prof Mac, before Prof Mac react, I want to come to you, Sah Thomas. I want to understand this context. Scores of people were killed recently in Mbonge, as we were made to understand during the weekend, though Cameroon government is yet to officially react to this, as the case was in Gabu. That was on the Valentine's Day, 14th of February 2020. The government said no. Those who were killed were the separatist group, and after a while, the government later on came and said, yeah, we killed a bit of people which were collateral damage and compensation. People are being court-martialed, and now there's compensation going on. Graveyard was constructed, as we saw. In this context of Mbonge, is it, which fact should we believe? The government is the state armed groups are stating that the government killed scores of people, civilians at mass, but the government is officially to react on this.
Okay. I want you just to say that. Let me just go to you were talking about the northwest and southwest a little bit. Let me just to say something about it when you are talking about. That the two groups they call them, and the Amber Boys, or they call them what, the separatists. They call them separatists. I want to just tell you that when you see this thing like this, the two fighters. I believe that because the government is freezing that, it's not the ones doing it, but let us accept this thing, that when you do something, let us accept, because the Bible says the truth shall set us free. We need the truth. Let them say the truth. Because we are there, people are dying every day. We do not know where it's going on, because I cannot point this finger, I want to say the government should try to see that, let this thing stop. Javis, that's my main problem. I have no problem to anything. I want the government to see it, because the way people are dying with the northwest, the southwest, is the Gabu, is where. Let us resolve this problem. That's my problem.
But do you buy Madame Ndale's position that those who pick up arms against the state are terrorists?
No, I cannot. No.
Why are they not terrorists?
They're not terrorists. They're fighting for their right, sir. They're fighting for their right. They're fighting for their right. Because you cannot...
Fighting for your right and killing people.
Killing people, killing your own
They're
brothers.
fighting. Let's say they're
Killing
fighting
your
for the
own
right.
brothers.
They are fighting for their right. I'm not saying that they're not refusing today.
Ah.
I'm
Okay,
not one.
you're not against the killing, but
The
you are
ki-
just simply stating that they are not terrorists.
Yes,
Because they are annoyed.
they're annoyed.
They are
When
annoyed,
someone is
actually,
annoyed,
yes.
someone can
They're
pick an arm.
annoyed. No.
That is my issue. Someone can pick an arm. That's
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Professor Mac, I wanted to have this two perspective before coming to you.
Yes.
You've listened to Madam ENDALE. You follow the news as to what happened in Mbonge. Your first reaction when you got the news, and equally you may want to react to Madam ENDALE. Which truth should we believe now? Because the truth was that we're told the truth by Tamnjong Tambalin that 3 were killed, including the so-called General Spirito. But now we are getting fact that people were rallied, and after what happened, what went wrong, they were shot and abandoned.
When
And
I
we have
saw
seen videos.
when I saw the pictures, I was a little bit disturbed, and I went to I said, let me find out. You are journalists, and when I heard you people talking about it, I could then conclude that it was something that happened. When I put it on Facebook, I have a friend who is in the United States, Zanga and Demian. He said, according to my country people, it is a stage act. It's not something that's real. It's not happened. It's not kill the people. So he said that, according to what he said, if you go to my Facebook page, you will see it there. He says these people decided to create a bus. They just lied down, then they took a picture so that they could put it on Facebook to create a bus. I said, this is terrible. How can you say that kind of thing? You see, there are so many versions and viewpoints concerning this, but I will be categorical in saying that we have already lost a lot of lives. Cameroonians are not animals. Whether be it the military, the Amber Boys, or civilians, we are not animals. We are humans. And what we should be doing right now is not blaming one another, but we should be looking for solutions to the problem. So far, I have been categorical in speaking, and I've said several times on this platform and other platforms that the Cameroon government has the knife and the yam to solving this problem. And so they should react fast, because we have gone from the position of acting, now we are reacting. Javis, when you see the pictures, you see a picture of children, women, young men and old men gathered in a place and they are sitting. Then the next picture, all of them are lying dead. Unfortunately, there was a display on video how the duo of Mamfe, of Kumba, I beg your pardon, the SDO, I beg your pardon, came out to celebrate with the military the killing of a so-called general Spirito with other 2 persons, not making 3. That same day is the same day we heard those people were killed in the same environment where the military killed those 3 persons. Question: who is behind the killing of that's the number of people, more than 30 persons?
But the senior divisional officer, Tamnjong Tambalin, is saying that only 3 were killed, 2 fighters and General Spirito. But the people, as we get information, are stating that no, there were more than 3 that were killed, as 20 were killed, including General Spirito. So which truth now should we believe?
If you are asking me of a truth, there is no truth coming from hearsays. The only way to know truth is that there's need for an open investigation. Let an investigation be done. You remember during the time of Gabo, because so far the Ministry of Defense nor the Cameroon government, the Ministry of Communication, has not yet said anything concerning this. There's nothing.
The government has not officially reacted.
There's no official reaction from the government concerning the issue. And so we cannot have a truth. when an investigation has not been done. I was about to say, you remember the Ngabo situation?
We had four
out.
communiques.
Yes, the government came out. We have the
Jean Kwete, we had Mincom, we had that of
military,
the military, we had military spokesperson of the military
came out and spoke,
and we had territorial administration.
So 4 communiques came out, all refusing the acts in Ngabo. It was after the president called for an investigation. When that committee was created, an investigation took place. When results came out and investigation claiming that it was the military who did it, then we heard that compensations came up. This time around, we have a massacre.
And we've had that in Mautu. I think that was 3 months ago in Mautu village.
I remember the one that happened in Mautu. The government, the defense secretary would say of communication rejected the issue, that they were not involved. We have now gotten another one in Gabu, in Mbonge. Nobody is saying anything. Question: who should we blame? Is it Spirito that killed those people before he was killed? Is it a bus that people wanted to create, just lied on the ground and just filmed them, then put on Facebook so that people can blame the government? Or is it the military that killed them? Because I can see, if you look at the pictures, you see a military man, where they will say Amber boys also put on uniforms. A military person actually scattering places, and I thought maybe there will be arms where they put, there's a generator, there's some pipes and an axe and some things. I did not see any gun. But the people were sitting there later on were all found dead. Who killed them? So if you want to know about the truth, truth cannot be spoken without an investigation. So there is need for an investigation to be done, and let those who are responsible for the killing of those people be brought to book. I don't know if some of these guys doing these terrible acts do know that there is a convention that speaks against crimes of war crimes. When you kill people in cold blood like they did,
yes,
you need to be punished for it. Javis, when you look at those pictures, I don't know what you see, but what I see,
yes,
is massacre.
Okay.
What I see, I can term it a genocide.
Okay.
Because it's like you gather a village,
yeah,
and sweep them off.
And they are all Cameroonians.
And they are all Cameroonians. You, what kind of heart do you have in doing that kind of thing with children? When you look, you see those babies.
Like
a woman
said,
with a child in the hand.
Like you said,
so
some are saying it's a best, some are saying, so a lot of,
so there are a lot of opinions concerning it.
Some are saying it's not real.
It's not real.
It's real.
So we need that an investigation should be done so that we can come out with the truth.
And it's a volatile place that nobody can go there anyhow to. You cannot easily go there to do an investigation.
That is the problem. So I'm of the opinion that if this problem is not solved, then very soon the people of the Northwest and the Southwest will literally abandon the Northwest and Southwest.
Madam ENDALE, is it proper for the state armed groups to kill civilians under the name of protecting territorial integrity, as we see in some cases, like you said, is when they come, the government rally to terrorists and they get the terrorists out and they go, but in some circumstances that's not the case, as we saw with the Ngabu incident, which shows that they were actually people who were killed, who were targeted and killed. As we are hearing too from Mbonge, sure Ndemba is in their division. So if we look at this, the context, we've had a lot of before you even reach Ndemba, it's even a problem because you have to pass through Kake, Nake, Bole, Kwakwa, Ekumbe before you get through.
Yes, you have to pass.
These are hot spots.
These are hot spots, but what I want to say about this problem.
You have lived the reality in the war, so maybe you
yes,
can
I've lived there. That's why I first said the first thing for us Cameroonians to do is to protect our nation. The first thing for us Cameroonians to do, because now it seems as if there is a fight between us. I mean, I'm an Anglophone. I can say I'm an Anglophone because I speak English I'm from Douala, but I speak English. I learned English. So being that it therefore means I'm from that area. And so much so that I would say that we of that area, we don't look at our places to be okay for us. We don't even mind what is happening to us. Because if at first we understood what was happening and you sit and you write a letter to the president, the president will receive that letter and will reply you. I'm still saying that.
But there have been a series of letters.
I am.
For example, Ndemba.
Yes, because the letters was not channeled through. The letters was not channeled through the right way.
You will learn letters. That is letter. The president, when he went to Bamenda the first time during the launch of CPDM party, he said they will construct. He said they will construct the ring road. When they went to the military anniversary in Bamenda, he still reminded that they will construct a ring road. And we have been hearing the ring road from the president himself, and not from a letter. And we've seen inconsistency of promises made by the president himself, which has not been realized, like the construction of the Limbe deep sea port. We have seen the Tiko airport, which is not being realized, the Bafu airport, which is still there, mentioned, not developed, Wada is out of place, Moyoka Dam is out of place. We cannot to see this is creeping and crawling itself, and subvention is not given, but yet the government is giving money to Kameko, and CDC is there. Is it not an issue that the head of state himself need to resit and think again?
The government is giving money. How does this money pass through? If you say the government is
giving money to subvention to Kameko that's creeping, but the CDC which is the north and southwest region is creeping.
Papa, let me tell you something. I am a palmol worker. I am telling you that I have worked in palmol for 15 years. I'm waiting to go on retirement. As I am here like this, I want to tell you something. In palmol, we were willing to work. We were working. Then those boys said, you are working for what? You will not work again. They came and destroyed our mill dam. The mill dam is the source of us. Yes, no, the source of our water supply in the camps where everybody is using. Everybody in the camp is using that water. If you are a citizen of this country and you destroy something like that, you destroy a place where your own father, let me say your own father, will get money to see you through school, and you come and you destroy it. I don't know what you are thinking about that. Me, I don't see that as something that should be done. I take that for it.
It's unpatriotism.
That is it. That is it, because if you want to talk about CDC, you want to talk about palm oil, you want to talk about other industries that have been destroyed. Who destroyed them? Who were the people who destroyed them? Because now we ask the government to give us money, the government to saying that it has to really help us because of this crisis. They are not palm oil workers who caused the problem or this or that or that. They want to help us. They will help us, yes. They will help us. Are they going to help you in a full wing? They cannot. Palmol has more than 11,000 workers. I want to tell you something.
So it means that we have
if the government
workers out of place.
Well, let me tell you, out of place exactly. If the government is giving you a subvention, how much will the government give you? Palmol is paying, let me say, paying 11,000 workers. Is being paid. Let me say you use about plus jobbers. You pay about 700 million a month. If you are paying 700 million a month to workers, you come to the government, you say, Papa, we need subvention, we need help, and the government say, okay, yes, let us help. The government will help you, and they want to give us money. The government, can they give us our real salary?
But you said a while ago that I'm happy with your diversity.
Yes,
you said a while ago that the president letters are not.
They are not channeled correctly. Because if a letter is channeled correctly, the president would reply. Okay. I want to tell you one thing. I want to tell you one thing, because the president himself, I want to tell you something. Now like this himself is really wondering what is the problem.
Okay.
Why can his own citizen be angry like that?
Before this crisis, you said letters are not channeled to the president. I just want to be clear on this. Before this crisis, the Episcopal Conference has written to the president, not once, not twice, not thrice. Christian Cardinal Tumi himself has asked to see the president on several occasions. The Grand Mission National Dialogue, convened by the president himself, appointing the prime minister, head of government, to preside over. Recommendations were made, and just few have been adopted. As far as we speak now, special status.
Papa, thank you. I think you say few has been adopted.
Now, my question now to you is, what happened now to the ring road promised by the president himself, not once, not twice, not thrice?
Which ring road? You are talking about a ring road in Bamenda when there is crisis in Bamenda. Even when they sent contractors to work along Ndemba road, were they able to do it? They did not allow them work. So if they are sending workers now to the ring road, where are they going to stay while doing the job? That's the question.
But that was before the crisis.
Papa, you yourself, you were saying as if you don't even know what is happening, because maybe you were saying that is this because what is happening is us. We are the one causing the problem, and then we are arguing against ourselves again. That's my problem.
Ring road was
you say
promised.
you go to CDC bush, you go harvest banana. You are not a CDC worker because you say you are a terrorist, and then you want your fathers to be paid
Madam
when you harvested all the banana. How?
Madam Dale,
You harvest palms from the farmer.
from my understanding,
Papa, I'm not.
from my understanding,
Yeah,
right?
no, Papa. Let me tell you something.
Ring road was promised
Papa,
in
yes,
1985.
there is a minister of construction.
From 1985,
We have a
Before I was
minister.
born.
There is a minister of construction. We have a
That's not
minister
even our-
of
Yes,
construction.
where needs of public
Yes.
work.
So what them?
So we should go and
because-
hold now Emmanuel Ganyu Jumesi for not constructing the ring road. That's what you're telling us.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. You are right. That's what I.
So
yes.
we should
In
hold
Cameroon, we have a
Emmanuel
minister
Ganyu
of construction.
Yes.
Each administration here in Cameroon has its own doings. You understand? So if you want to channel a letter to the president, you write through if you want to write to the Secretary of State. If you write to the Secretary of State is already the president. He can take decisions even on that without a letter even reaching the president. Are you getting
Yes.
me? Yes.
Okay.
So me, I want to tell you,
Briefly, so that
what I want us to do, us the citizen,
way
we
forward.
should go back and think. We should rethink that what are we doing to our nation? Why are we destroying our villages? Look at Ekwendo Titi Mundimba Road. At least it was passable. But now, can you go there? Can you pass there easily?
And it was under construction.
It was under construction, and you refuse that workers should not work. What are we doing to ourselves? Because we think that there are people. Those people in America, they are big. They are enjoying their cars. My own brother will get up.
Thank you,
Some
Madam.
of my brothers are dead
Madam,
because of this.
He will be coming back to you.
Eh?
Professor Mac, brief reaction. So that we'll move to Thomas.
I just feel a little bit disappointed with the way we approach things, knowing very well that the Cameroon we are talking about is a Cameroon that has been taken under hostage,
Yes.
where some particular individuals are being recycled in power, and they take decisions for the people, which in fact they are not connected to the people. We have been crying for long that this situation should be handled a new. We have seen that from the time of the start of this problem, which was 2016, till this present day we are talking.
Yes.
We have a parliament that is supposed to be the center that should be dealing with the issues in this country. They have not spoken about it, and it is funny how we can expect them to best represent us. And at times I will feel like those who say that some people are more Cameroonians than others, they are right. Those who say that they are not Cameroonians, they are still right. When you look at it, when people get up and say we want to create our own country, we are Ambazonians, it's because they have gone through pain. They are looking at their own section of the nation. There is practically nothing that is done to make it look like part of the nation. You just mentioned the ring road. Ring road is not today that it was that came up. Ring road came up. The whole idea of ring road started in 1985.
That was 24th March.
Then if you go from 1985 till today, how many years are we? And we cannot claim that these people, these ministers, The president himself has not gone to Bamenda to see.
Madam Ndale says let's hold Minister Emmanuel Nganu.
Ministers can never be responsible because they are not the ones who make the budget. They are not. It is true they propose their budget. When they propose budget, they have things that I want to ask you a question. What will you tell me that a single division in the south carries over 190 something billion of the budget of this nation when a whole region does not have 2/3, in fact 1/3 of the budget? Look at it. We are talking of reconstruction of the Northwest and Southwest, and how much has been put? About 45 billion to reconstruct Northwest and Southwest, when a single division in the south is having 190 something. What are they doing with it down there? So when you talk like this, I feel disappointed, because this nation seems as if we are preaching unity with our mouth, but in practicality we do not preach unity. We need to be talking. You see, last time I told you here that Kamo has a problem of Mangeons ensemble, pas vivre ensemble. What's he know to say? See, he's from Ndemba. He grew in Ndemba. That is showing that we have been living together, but there is a problem of eating together. The people are fighting today because they have a problem, and that problem is they are not eating together. The things that belongs to them are not given to them.
Okay.
And so there is need for the Cameroon government to see it and solve the problem before it's late.
Okay.
We have lost lives when we should not be losing lives. Cameroonians are not people who want to pick a gun against themselves.
That is it.
And so when you,
It is on my greatest surprise.
it is something that shocked everybody. Because
Okay.
you will not see Cameroonians wanting to pick guns. And it is not in an Anglophone to do that. And so when it came up, people were shocked and surprised. Why? Because of what is on the ground. People have seen a lot of pain. They are unable to. I cannot imagine that we have Sonara in the southwest region, but it pays its tax in Douala. When you see that, what do you call it? Is Limbe not supposed to be well developed? We have a natural deep sea port in Limbe, but we have a seaport in Douala where every year we remove sand.
But that Ndale says you should blame the minister of
No, we should not. The minister cannot take responsibility because he's just a single
When the
individual.
minister makes, let me tell you something. When the minister makes his budget, all those things are there.
But that Ndale says budgets
The
have been
budget that
disbursed.
has been disbursed
Disbursed.
in a particular, that is in the department, a budget meant for those
So it
things.
means that if I get up now like this,
Yes, no, that's the
affect
truth.
Mbonge, which has been there for long, it means I should go and hold Emmanuel Nganu Jimenez.
Yes.
No.
Yes, because
Wait,
contracts are then made for those things.
to-
Contracts are then made for those things. Let him give the contract
You
to
see,
people.
we.
We are out of time.
I know why she's saying that. I know
No,
why
let
she's.
him give the contract to people.
The reason
It's
why
not
she's
in their
saying that is
budget.
because if you look at it, most of the
many budgets are not being executed.
most ministers are fond of siphoning wealth that is meant for the development of the nation into their accounts. There are many of them in prison because of the fact that they siphon wealth that was meant for the development of the nation into their personal pocket. But I've asked a question.
Every year, the president asks for every minister's budget, and that's what he's working for. That's what he works on. So your budget, if you're a minister of construction, all construction projects will be put in your budget. So that's how it is in Cameroon.
Just conclude time. We are out of time.
Madam
the
doesn't want me to talk.
president.
No conclude.
So when
We should blame our ministers.
when we get to this point where we keep on this finger pointing, this person is the cause, that person is the cause, we will never really progress. If we have to progress, then we must come to a place where we call the government of Cameroon has a lot to do in order to make sure that this problem comes to an end.
Okay.
We are all pointing fingers. I am talking this because I am looking at the government. The government is the only person that I know. I do not know Amber, so I know the government who can best solve this problem, not the Amber boys.
Thank you.
Stop fighting.
Okay.
Nobody knows them.
Okay.
They should stop fighting. We do. They should stop creating problems. We don't know them.
Madam, thank you. Madam, thank you. Madam, thank you.
Madam Jiwum is
Last
Minister
word
of
before we go.
Construction.
before we go, your last word.
Okay, my last word is my second to the last word is I want to just to say that let us make the country to go ahead. Please, the government to try a way to stop this crisis before
stop the destruction.
Before the hands leave on.
Okay. Before we take leave of you, Professor Mac Akumbom, your last word briefly.
We want to thank the head of state for
Romans 31-5
for the various challenges we are facing together, and also to our minister Tanganji, who has been very, very faithful in making sure he defends the territorial integrity. I want to believe that we are moving ahead while we are actually suffering in the northwest and southwest. We believe we are making progress and things are returning to normalcy. So I am telling Cameroonians we have to get to a place where we protect ourselves. Let us put on our face mask. Let us respect social distancing. For coronavirus is out. We should not give the opportunity for the government to sanction us on issues which we are not supposed to be sanctioned. And to pastors who are preaching coronavirus in church, I think it is not a message of Christ. You should preach Christ. Keep coronavirus out of your church. Then advise your people, the believers in church members, to put on their face masks as well. So that's what I can say. And Mbonge.
Madam Ndemba, briefly before we take leave of you, your last word.
Actually, we thank Tanganji Paul for his issue of looking straight into the issue of coronavirus, especially in churches. We want to thank him, and I want to say he should give us helping hands any way he could to see that Cameroonians are saved.
Okay.
To see that Cameroonians are saved, and Madame Leonga, who is is a minister of secondary education. What I want to say about it is that she should not take decisions after the bosses of a particular sector have taken decisions. Okay. She should liaise with them so as to tell them any implications on that. He should not take decisions like that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for Professor Mac for coming. Thank you, Madam Ndemba, for coming. Thank you, Sah Thomas, for coming. It's been a privilege to have you here. To all those of you who are watching us, you can communicate to us on the numbers on your screen. If you want to be a panelist to our program, feel free. We are open to receive you of your diversity. Your views may not be the views we will share. The numbers are on your screen. If you want to participate for our next week topic, contact us on the numbers on your screen. We'll give you the topic in the course of the week and give you directive as of when you will join us. www.btmediagroup.net is our website. Our YouTube channel is BT Media Group for YouTube. You have all of our program on YouTube. Our Twitter handle is BT Media. Our Twitter handle is BT Media on Twitter. You can get us BT Media on Twitter. And our Facebook page is My Media Prime on our Facebook page. And we are located in Bonamusadi at Fengudrom Bange Koto. Bonamusadi Fengudrom Bange, that's where our headquarters is. This program comes to you every Sunday at exactly 12 to 1:30, and the rebroadcast is every Sunday 10:30 p.m. A rebroadcast 10:30 p.m. on Sunday and 10:30 p.m. on Monday. I leave you with this: no matter the matter, what matter is your matter. No matter the matter, what matter is your matter. And what should matter for you is that a happy Palm Sunday and stay out of trouble. My name is Tah Mai Javis. Until then, stay out of trouble and bye-bye from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala.